Hey, what's going on, friends? Welcome back to this channel, Football Therapy, with me, your host, Jan. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Really do hope that. Welcome back to the studio outside Stamford Bridge. And of course, welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on this channel, Football Therapy, where I reflect on what's being said around the Blues, giving you my opinion on it, more importantly, asking for yours. Good news, bad news, theoretical ideas. Ben Chilwell, of course, leaving the stadium on crutches after a hamstring injury. Niche circle to mind Bruder. Chelsea have made initial contact for the signing of Jude Bellingham. Todd Boehly, Chelsea's co-owner, going in aggressively. Could Kante go to Tottenham Hotspur? And, of course, people talking about Wilfried Zaha on a free transfer. Could he go to Arsenal? Could he go to Chelsea? Would that even make sense? We'll talk about as much as we can in today's video, so thank you for joining me. Thank you for, what's happening here? Thank you for dropping a, God damn it! Thank you for dropping a like on the video, down there. There's the icon. It means a lot. Just one little click, like, and you're done. And you're done, mate. You are welcome to subscribe, and should you choose to do so, I recommend that you hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Not the best. Okay. There's the transition. It's all falling apart pieces already. Look, man, let's start off with Ben Chilwell. This is really sad. I'm not going to criticize Graham Potter for playing him last night in the game. Keep him sharp. It is an opportunity for him to learn more about certain players. A lot of people are whinging that Potter didn't play the kids, but I'm totally cool with that. He's still really having an extended preseason in many ways, Graham Potter. He's learning on the job, and it's an opportunity to say, right, how does Ben Chilwell do with this player next to that player? And, you can do your hamstring in any scenario, whether it be a live match or whether it be training. It sucks, man. Like I said, he left the stadium on the crutches. They will scan it. Hopefully, it's just pull and it's not like a big tear or something, but it's not looking good. Graham Potter said that. He says, yeah, it's not positive. So that's really shit. Excuse my language. It's like last season, man. Reece James and Ben Chilwell injured again after like good European, performances. Granted, Koulibaly came back and he looked okay. He didn't quite look back to the form that he had been. But you can add Ben Chilwell to Reece James, to N'Golo Kante, to Wesley Fofana. When's it going to end, Robbie? It's really poor, man. It's really crap. I know we've got this new medical team with the new ownership, but hopefully they can sort this out, because this is really, really poor. And we need to keep our players fit. I know only about 24% of my viewership is English, but I'm an Englishman, and this sucks ass doubly because, of course, he had a good chance of starting over Luke Shaw in the World Cup. But Chelsea players dropping like flies. Let's move on. Just quickly to finish off, we might talk a bit about Zakaria as well, actually. But on that match as well, of course, Raheem Sterling scored, playing a more advanced role. This was put to Graham Potter in his post-match press conference. By the way, if you're yet to watch my post-match presser after the game, I suggest you go back and watch it. But he says, look, man, because everyone's like, they also talked about him playing more forward, and he said, the gaffer, yeah, I know there's been a lot of talk about Raheem Sterling playing wing-back, but trust me, I played wing-back. He's not playing wing-back. He's just playing really high and wide. Technically, he's playing wing-back, but what essentially is happening is Graham Potter has pretty much stated he hasn't got the responsibility of tracking back their, the wingers, and, all his responsibility is playing against their fullback. So he doesn't have to track their wingers or whatever. He says, look, he's not playing in a back five. Regardless, Graham, and I dig that, you're trying to do something innovative and uniquely offensive, and you'll compensate elsewhere for those spaces in theory. But, brother, it didn't work. It worked against Salzburg. Great. And it may well work against middle-tier European sides that afford space in certain scenarios. I posed the question of it not working in the Premier League. It absolutely didn't work in the Premier League. So, yeah. Anyway, good for Raheem Sterling. I'm sure he'll start against Arsenal. It's going to be a huge game, man, and we are missing so many crucial players. We'll talk about Arsenal another time. But on to bigger and brighter and more positive things, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the midfield, because we all know in football, midfield wins games. Whether it's defending on transition, Denis Zakaria, or if it's bringing the ball forward and linking offences and winning. Jude Bellingham, god darn it! Let's start off with Denis Zakaria. It wasn't just the goal yesterday. It was obviously a good all-round defensive performance. Now, we need to be mindful here, all of us together, not to get overexcited. I got very overexcited, and it's easy to do that because we've missed this sort of physical presence in the midfield for a long time. Ever since we, got conned by Tamuri Bakayoko when we thought he was the second coming of Yaya Toure, and then he was profoundly bad. And he was meant to be the Nemanja Matic replacement. And 40 million euros worth, by the way. It's been absent ever since. And we've been trying to play in a different way where you've got metronomic recycling midfielders like Jorginho, very good. You've got dribbly guys like, Loftus-Cheek and Mateo Kovacic. But you've got roaming interceptors that when they're fit and they're there, N'Golo Kante, you generally don't have a problem. You can have him, and then you can have like running around mopping up, and then you can have these passes and dribblers. But without that, you need a conventional style CDM. And we were talking about Denis Zakaria for such a long time. Like, yeah, it makes sense, his profile, but he just didn't get a sniff. He had been pissed off he's not been playing. He hadn't been causing an issue, but like he said in the post-match interview with the BT Sport, it's very, very difficult. It's because you haven't played a bloody minute, mate, until the 2nd of November. Yeah, dude, that sucks. Big time. I get it. But, that game was a dead rubber for us. But like I said in the post-match presser yesterday, it wasn't for them. It wasn't for the opposition. And it wasn't just the goal. He put in a conventionally good central defensive, sort of a little bit of all-round midfielder play. Of course, he played next to Jorginho, and Jorginho looked really good as well. And Jorginho's numbers were good. Maybe he makes Jorginho better. Maybe we're less vulnerable in transition, because these kind of games that we play where we have Kovacic running off all excited and whatever, and then, they get the ball in transition, and then you just got little, petite Jorginho, and he just gets made to look a mug every time when they just run past him. Because it's not his vibe, it's not his game, and it's unfair to dig out Jorginho for that scenario. Do you know what I mean? Maybe Denis Zakaria is the answer. Apparently he came off yesterday. It was just a sort of impact knock. It's no injury. He said he's fine. Graham Potter says he's fine. Great. Does that mean we start him in the massive London derby against top-of-the-table Arsenal after a few minutes of success midweek? Maybe. I don't know. Do we just go, screw it, go? Or do we act more reserved? I've no idea, and I'm excited to find out, because it could go. But if he starts, there'll be a lot of nervous excitement, like, oh, this is risky, but this is cool. Yeah, it could go both ways. Anyway, that's the final sort of analysis of yesterday's game. Let's move on and talk about some headline news stuff. I do want to talk about Jude Bellingham, but quickly, Ali McCoist has been talking about how Wilfried Zaha would walk into the Chelsea team on Talk Sport. Of course, Wilfried Zaha has been gagging to get out of Crystal Palace for a while. He is a very good, effective Premier League attacker, fast and transitional. He is about to turn 30 years old. He is currently 29. He turns 30 on the 10th of November, so very soon, a week away now. So he'll be a free agent, a free transfer. Now, a 30-year-old free transfer sounds, if he was a bit older, like 33 or something, you'd be like, yeah, do we take him? But Chelsea would probably give him like a 3-year deal at 30 years old, maybe, or a 2+1 or something. Maybe you'd take that, maybe you'd get longer at Arsenal. Look, I'm only saying this because, Ziyech is as good as gone. I don't know if Hudson-Odoi is going to come back. Wilfried Zaha is that kind of... we are, touch wood, going to stick with Potter long-term through thick and thin, whatever, for no matter how difficult it gets. And Wilfried Zaha could play wing-back. I don't know. It's an interesting one. He's been linked with Chelsea for so long, Wilfried Zaha. If he doesn't get, crazy wages, if he gets, decent free transfer wages, but has this new, Todd Boehly, Clear Lake Capital, incentivized contract. You play, you get your your full wages. You score goals, you get up to 200k a week. You've got a basic of 120 a week, but it can go to 200k if things go well and you play. Do you know that kind of thing? Incentivized stuff. And you can play in Champions League football, the creme de la creme in London, Chelsea Football Club. You've made it, Wilf. You had to wait till you're 30. But look at Jamie Vardy. He scored 100 goals post 30, I believe. I think that's right. I'm not saying he's going to do that, but what I'm saying is it's an interesting thought experiment. Of course, Chelsea are almost certainly going to wrap up Christopher Nkunku, wave away Romelu Lukaku, and of course, Aubameyang, oh God, my chair's breaking, isn't a long-term scenario. It's just an interesting thought experiment, and I was reading it earlier, so I want you guys to tell me what you think on Wilf Zaha. But let's talk about an exciting one for me, and that is Jude Bellingham. Alright, so there's all kinds of reports on Jude Bellingham. Everybody wants him. Real Madrid, Liverpool, I think Man City do, all the big boys. Barcelona can't afford a packed lunch, so you can forget about them. And Chelsea. Excuse me. Todd Boehly, Chelsea's co-owner / sporting director, having his fingers in all kinds of pies, getting involved. He wants Jude Bellingham. According to Bild in Germany, Chelsea have made contact with Borussia Dortmund over a deal for, Liverpool target Jude Bellingham. Yes, Chelsea make a move for Liverpool target. I like the headline. Liverpool, I'd prefer it to say Chelsea attempting to mud Liverpool. Well, the German news outlet believe Chelsea are in an excellent position to sign the England international. Excellent position. Bild believe Todd Boehly can afford to meet the 150 million euro asking price set by Borussia Dortmund, with a sum that is described as realistic in the report. That's a lot of money, dude. Jesus, I mean, I don't even know anymore, whatever. It's also said that Boehly has personally made contact with Bellingham's representatives, as well as the England international's father, Mark Bellingham. Mark Bellingham sounds like someone that, I don't know, it just sounds like such a common name. Why have I heard that before? No, it's because it's Jude's dad. And the youngster is almost certain to leave Germany in the summer. Well, yeah, in terms of, maximising on returns, I think that summer would be the time for Dortmund to cash in. And they make a lot of money. They absolutely do. Bild, who referred to Liverpool target being interested, add that Chelsea can afford to offer this is wild, the 19-year-old, so teenager, remember, an annual salary of £17 million. A teenager, £17 million a year. Sickening. At the moment, Bellingham earns about £5 million a year. Oh man, poor guy. How does he eat? At the Signal Iduna Park, which is about 115k a week. Bild add that Man City and Real Madrid are also in contention to sign the teenager, but interesting, Bellingham has gone up a gear this season due to his incredible performances both domestically and in Europe. So far this term, Borussia Dortmund's number 22 has scored 9 goals and provided 2 assists in 19 appearances. 11 contributions in 19 appearances. He's a central midfielder, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible numbers. In our view, this update should concern Liverpool, especially as James Pearce of The Athletic has already raised doubts about the Reds being able to keep up with the financial side of this deal. The annual salary of £17 million, which Chelsea, of course, are willing to offer Bellingham, equates to about £326,000 a week. Well, about £327,000 a week. Hold on. That is massive. That by far would be our highest paid player, and he's a teenager. Hold on, mind-blowing. Makes no sense. Which is a huge wage packet, yes. Expected to be a 5-year contract. Well, if he's a teenager, they'll be wanting to give him 6 years, because that's what the new ownership does at Chelsea. Furthermore, Man City and Real Madrid are just as wealthy, if not more, than Chelsea. Yeah. So Liverpool really don't look like Liverpool really do look likely to be left behind. Lol. Unless Fenway Sports Group, FSG, break the norm and spend heavily. Well, they spent 100 million euros on the Uruguayan Andy Carroll. So even if FSG do agree to sanction such a massive deal, Jurgen Klopp must first secure Champions League football, or else Liverpool have no chance of luring him to Anfield. Very fun. Very fun. No Champions League at Anfield. We'd all love that, won't we? Look, man, I absolutely love this player, Jude Bellingham, because of how he plays, because of, you know, how he holds himself. If you've heard his post-match interviews, he like wears the captain's armbands sometimes for Dortmund. But, like, listen to this guy talk. He doesn't pretend to be older than he is. He's just so humble, grounded, communicative, intelligent, effective. I know I don't want to turn Chelsea into Brexit FC because I love how we have, like, Jorginho and Kante, but I'd love Declan Rice and Bellingham in my midfield, man. Is it because I'm English? But, like, look, if you sit, look, I do love Declan Rice. We talk about conventional CDMs and the difference it could make on transitions. We spoke about Denis, Zakaria, etc., 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 etc. Declan Rice, similar vibes, you know, you get him. But if you said to me, Jan, pick one, Declan Rice or Jude Bellingham, I'd say, sorry, mate, I love Rice, but, you know, I'm going carb-free and going for Bellingham. Bellingdor. I love Jude Bellingham. But yeah, the money being talked about here is sickening. Look, it's not his fault. He is a professional footballer, someone doing his craft, and someone says, do you want to earn like a lot of money in what you do and be valued? You say, hell yeah, dude. Give me that sweet, sweet dinero, and I won't. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. That money's sort of crazy. What do you think, though? Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything I've spoken about in this video. And I thank you once again for dropping a like. If you're yet to do it, please do it. Please do it. Do it. Thank you. Subscribe if you want to. And keep it locked here to Football Therapy. And I look forward to seeing you very soon, mate. Love you. Bye.